All right, Falcons fans, another NFL Falcons week in the books, and you're listening to FinCast, brought to you by Scan Energy, the natural gas provider of your Atlanta Falcons. With me, as always, the Finn and FinCast to my left, Mr. Brian Finneran.
What up?
Behind the glass, Andrew Groover, our producer.
Yo.
And I am Tyler Nelson, and the Falcons go down in miserable, touchdownless fashion to the Seahawks on Sunday.
It.
Finn.
I forgot we didn't score a touchdown. I was at that game, dude. It was the alumni game. And it was 6-6 at halftime.
Oh, what happened? Oh, the mic came undone.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. That's all right. Just restart.
Am I back?
You're back.
We're back.
All right. Sorry about that. I was at the game. It was an alumni game. Saw a bunch of my former teammates and buddies and guys I played with and guys I got to know that played before me. And what's going on around here? There's a bug in my way. Anyway, did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah.
And it was 6-6 at halftime. I was there with my lovely wife, Erin, and we were down kind of below and got a chance to watch Ovi Mahaley and Brian Scott, former safety out of Penn State, that was here with the Falcons for a long time, and about 6 or 8 other former NFL players do the national anthem. It's like the NFL choir, I think they call it. So they might travel around and do that. So that was cool. We saw cheerleaders from the Falcons 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and today.
All right, that's pretty cool.
All were out there. There was hundreds of them, dude. It was
That's pretty cool.
really neat to watch them all kind of do their routine.
Fun cheerleader info tidbit. Did you know that Phyllis from The Office was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the actress who plays Phyllis in The Office.
Are you serious?
Dead
That's
serious.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. That is, I mean, just, you know.
But it was really neat to see
I'm going to need to fact check that.
the women.
Have at it. I'm telling you.
That's hilarious.
Phyllis from The Office was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. I know. I understand how unbelievable that sounds.
You don't say shit like that unless you know it's real.
Yeah, all right, you better be right.
And listen, people
Trust
change
me.
to get older.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not trying to make a comment on Phyllis Smith. Her actual name is Phyllis Smith. Her appearance or physique or anything, but that's just, it's a funny anecdote.
So it was really, really neat to see a lot of the women that cheered for me or were cheerleaders when I was playing, I should say, and watch them. They embraced. It was really neat to watch. 6-6 at halftime.
Yep.
Missed a few opportunities early to score touchdowns and got a field goal blocked. So you could have been up 14-6 if you did what you're supposed to do. At 6-6, and I looked at Erin, my wife, and I said, "Do you want to just get out of here?" And we beat the traffic.
Hey now.
We beat everything. Hey now.
That's what I used to say on dates.
You used to say, hey now, like you're like Quagmire or
I say,
something?
hey girl, you want to get out of here? By the way, he's right. She was a cheerleader.
That's hilarious.
I stand corrected. In the 70s, very attractive back in the day.
Very
Still
nice.
is. Beautiful woman.
She seems like a sweet,
beautiful heart.
Yeah. You're funny.
Yeah.
So we got out of there, and I think it says a lot about the place they're in right now. And where they're looking to get to at the end of the season, which is nowhere. And we got home, and I watched the end of it on fourth quarter on TV, and went and got some pizza and enjoyed the rest of my day. So it's a shame we've gotten to this point, and then they end up losing 37-9.
Yeah.
In an absolute beatdown.
Yeah.
So what did I miss? Nothing.
So I was actually at the game in a different suite with our friends from W&B Factory, Robert Bales from W&B Factory, and I ran into some old friends from Creature Comforts and Spiller Park Coffee, which was great. People I hadn't seen in a long time, which was nice. It was positive, and then hanging out with some other folks, partners of W&B Factory, and then went out after the game with Phil from the Falcons and his wife, Diana, and my friend from Spiller Park, Dale, and that was the positive part of the day, and that was it. Because there was nothing positive on the field.
Yeah.
There was nothing redeeming. And
Any more names you want to drop?
No, like it was
like 17 people.
Had people he
I
was
know
hanging
it was
out
a
with,
good.
dude.
That's like you ever have one of those days where you just like see a bunch of people like at
I'm
once?
not as popular as you. That's
No, I wouldn't say that. Trust me, I wouldn't say that. But I just mean it was one of those days where like kind of like Finn had, where he was talking about like hanging out with some old teammates and stuff, and like that was what a positive environment. And like
so
if we're trying to look for something positive to talk about, that's all I got.
Yeah,
positive vibes only.
Because the game sucked, and I'm at a place. Now come back to what you said, where I'm apathetic.
There you go. 37-9 beatdown. It started with the first play in the second half. Rashid Shaheed, 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Another special teams gaff.
Damn Saints.
Same traded from the Saints a few weeks ago to the Seattle Seahawks. And guess who won Special Teams Player of the Week last week?
Rashid Shaheed.
That's the 6th Player of the Week award we've given up this season as a team.
Holy shit.
I didn't know that. That's insane.
So we tried to go through it today. It was
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, quarterback, Carolina.
Uh-huh.
It was Christian McCaffrey, who you have to stop, and you couldn't do it defensively. It was Jonathan Taylor, who you have to stop,
right,
and you couldn't do it defensively. So then I started thinking to myself, do we have a good defense? Is our defensive coordinator any good? Or do we just have guys sacking the quarterback all the time right now?
Right.
So is Jeff Ulbrich a good DC? I think he is.
Yeah.
But we gave up all these things to these guys. Jordan Brooks, safety
be fair,
from Miami.
during those games, we had lost Divine Diablo. We had lost the heart of our defense. So, but keep going. Keep going.
You're right. But still,
I know. If you know who you're supposed to stop and you don't do it, it's still your fault.
Jordan Brooks from the Dolphins won the Defensive Player of the Week one week, and then there's one I'm missing. No, there's another Special Teams Player of the Week from Tampa Bay to start the season.
Oh, great.
So anyway, he had
Hey, it's the holiday season. We're a giving franchise.
positive vibes. That's exactly right. So anyway,
that is a ridiculous stat.
yeah, frustrating.
All right,
let's move on.
So we're eliminated. We went through that fun what ifs parlay, and
that was awesome. Thanks for wasting our time.
Immediately
Groover.
eliminated. What else are we going to talk about?
Numbers don't lie.
I just saw a guy do it for the Dolphins.
Oh, God.
The
gosh.
Dolphins have like a 1% chance to make it. They have to win out, and then a couple of other things have to happen.
Hey, if they're not eliminated, they're not eliminated.
There you go.
So, as you said earlier, Groover, our only real thing at this point in the year is at least get another win or two, make sure we beat the Saints, and we can play spoiler to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South.
Yeah, and Raheem, I think he's coaching for his job still, because otherwise, I think he'd be done and fired with the way we've looked, 37-9. And that blown out by other teams.
I wouldn't have let him get on the team bus a long time ago, but
so I think if he has a strong finish for whatever reason, they may keep him around for another year. But I really, the more I've dissected it and looked at it and thought about it, he probably doesn't deserve to be back.
No, he definitely doesn't. I don't know why. I think you're really generous, and I know you're probably towing the party line a little bit, but you're being very generous.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody else agrees with you, or that there's any chance that he should. Jason Lockenfora reported that he is as good, quote, good as gone, or good as done. I can't remember which one he said.
Really?
Either way, yeah. So one,
damn it.
I mean, yeah, that's interesting that he reported it with. You put an interesting question here on the show sheet, Groover, saying, and so it's your question. Do you want to? Oh, well, I know, but still, do you want to? Since it's your question, you want to ask Finn what you had here?
Yeah. So Finn, obviously, you played for the Falcons for a long time, had a couple of not so great seasons.
Yeah.
Of course, nothing you did. Not your
No,
fault.
of course not.
But as a player, when you're in those kind of situations, do you just kind of phone it in, or you play for pride? Is that a thing when you're still getting your paycheck every day? I don't know. Just walk us through that situation.
It's tough. I've been on 5-11 teams, and I've been on 11-5 teams. And for me, I love playing football. Now, obviously, you look forward to an end of a season when you're 5-11, and you're looking like you're out of the postseason. You're 4-9 as a Falcon team. Let's just use the Falcons as an example. It's a great opportunity for players that didn't play a lot during the first half of the season to step up and show that they belong in the NFL still. And for me, that's what I did a couple times when we had some rough seasons. There is playing for pride. There's playing for your family and your paycheck. There's playing for next year's contract.
Yep.
There's playing and performing for the other 31 teams in the NFL. So there is a lot to play for when it comes like Kirk Cousins. He's not going to be a Falcon next year, most likely. If he plays well enough and looks like he can still play, guess what?
He's going to get picked up.
He's going to get picked up by somebody.
Right.
So, and that goes for the same for everybody that's covering kicks, punting. I think Bradley Pinion's a free agent after this. So there's free agency. There's guys that are becoming contracts come up. There's performance-based pay.
Oh, yeah.
That plays a factor as well, where if you play a bunch of snaps and your salary's like not very high or minimum veteran, you get a bonus after the season based off of some of those statistics. So there is just certainly a lot to play for. I think that's what makes the league great, you'll see teams. The only teams that don't play hard at the end of the season are those that already have solidified the number one seed, and then they sit their starting quarterback and their starting tight end.
Right. Sure.
And then there's other guys that come in, guess what they do?
Yeah.
They play hard, and they try to win. So,
not to throw any teammates under the bus. Obviously, it meant something to you, but did you ever see teammates that are just like, man, why does it even matter anymore?
I think
even in college.
I think when you a sport like football, when you go so hard and you got to protect yourself from those other guys that are trying to kill you, that attitude and that mentality doesn't really fly. I'm sure there's been times I've had guys around me in the locker room that are looking forward to going to Cancun on January 5th. But you really try not to talk about it and don't bring it up. And like I said a minute ago, you're playing for your pride, your career, you're showcasing yourself for other teams, and if you love the game, you just go.
Well, no, that brings an interesting question about two players that I'd love for you to talk about then.
Right.
Someone in Drake London's position and someone in Bijan Robinson's position, right? So Drake London has now missed 3 games, and
this will be
his 4.
Yeah.
And then Bijan Robinson, but he's not on the IR, right? So then Bijan Robinson, who of course isn't, he's playing and perfectly healthy, whatever. But there's only so much tread on the tire for a running back, right? And he's he's on his rookie contract.
Oh yeah, big time.
I mean, I knew that. I mean, his second year, right? So he's got a couple years left on his contract. He's not playing for anybody just yet, right? He's impressed everybody. So what do you really? And you look over at him, and he's on the sidelines. He's not happy. I don't think he likes the state of the team. If I had to guess, that's just conjecture.
He fumbled last week. That's why he wasn't looking happy, and they were getting their heads beat in late. But what do you do if you're Bijan? You go out there and try to put up the best numbers ever. He's the 3rd running back ever to have, I think it's 1,500 yards rushing and 500 yards receiving in first few seasons. Something like that. There's only 2 other guys that have done it. You're playing, again, you play because you love the game. Bijan loves the game. I've never seen a running back.
Right.
A couple.
He does.
The way he gets hit, and he never lays on the ground. Ever. So he loves playing. He will continue to play. He's not going to bench himself, and they're not going to bench him either. The Drake London conversation is much more interesting because there's a guy coming off a PCL injury in his knee. He's not quite healthy yet, doesn't have that explosion. I think Raheem said this week. It's a short week, playing tonight on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So after this weekend, on Monday or Tuesday, if he's 100%, then he's going to play football next week, unless somebody shuts him down. So expect Drake London to be back for at least a few games to finish the season. He plays like he loves the game. He wants to play. But a lot of times we talk about this, the guys around him, training staff, coaches, GM, Andrew Groover brought up a great point, the agent.
Right. That's the one I was going to ask.
They encourage him to
agent
sit.
might tap on the shoulder and go,
Listen,
also, with the CBA and everything, the players get screwed. Like, even if Bijan wanted to walk, you can tag him for 2 years.
Right.
So, with the 5th-year option plus 2 tags, that's 7 years of control for a team. So he's
rarely does it get to that. How many times?
Kirk Cousins made a hell of a lot of money being tagged twice. He's like the biggest example of it. Because the first tag is whatever. I think it's the top.
It's the top
5 salaries at your position. Right. So running backs don't make much. His is a lot more. Receivers make a shitload of money.
Yes.
And quarterbacks make a ton of money. That's why Kirk. And then the second year you tag him, I think it's 125%.
Yeah, plus 20 or 25%.
So that's why Kirk Cousins is that guy's made a lot of money. Good job to his agent.
Well,
Mike McCartney.
Come back to Drake. What is Drake's contract situation? Does he have a year left?
He's got his 5th-year option, and then they can tag him a couple years if they wanted to.
So, they picked up the 5th-year option.
Okay.
And usually, again, that's kind of a placeholder, too, if you want to look at it that way, where you try to get a long-term deal done with them.
And a lot of receivers, usually, like Jamar Chase and those guys, they get their massive deals done before they even hit that 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So.
You mean Jamar Chase, who was drafted after Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
So let's talk.
All right.
Speaking of which, you wanted to talk about Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts has looked like
Florida Kyle Pitts.
There you go.
Right.
And there's some kind of little connection with him and Kirk Cousins. I think he had six catches for 90 yards last week. And the numbers came out on the prop bets for the player this week. And I just was reading an article and it popped up. What would you guys do? Kyle Pitts, anytime score of a touchdown, it's like plus 250. You taking it? He hasn't been in the touchdown, but in the end zone, but one time this year.
No, I'm not taking him. No.
What's the
I think
receptions though?
6.5.
Under.
I mean, he's basically been Cousins' only target.
Right.
He had like
I know,
9
but he also loves to drop balls.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know what bothered me last week? There was a play he had an opportunity early in the game to really go attack the football, and he needs to do it more, and it needs to be coached up better. But he kind of let it get to his body with guy on him, so the guy was able to punch it up. But if you go snatch that ball and pull it away with his long arms,
which is why Drake London's so good, because Drake London has great hands.
doubt.
You see him attack the ball like that, just like you're talking about. And Kyle Pitts, he just looks lazy to me, and maybe he's had a couple good weeks.
He's been better this year. I mean, we can look at the numbers, and I don't have them. I'm going to have them in 1 second. But Kyle Pitts, we talked about him before the season started. We're like,
right, this is an easy
60 to 70 catches, 800 yards, 5-6 touchdowns. That would be a good starting point for him. He's got 62 catches, 631 yards, and 1 touchdown. So the touchdown arena is the only area where there's something to be desired there. And I think that goes back to
play calling.
Thank you very much. Look at you. You read my mind.
Not utilizing a big first round tight end in the red zone.
It's a bad job.
Yes, I agree completely. So then let's go moving on from the X's and O's, I guess. Ray McCloud.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ike Hilliard got fired after, what was it, game 3?
Sounds right.
Ike Hilliard, the wide receivers coach, got fired after game 3, as we and pretty much everyone regarded as a scapegoat, right? So then, of course, we saw the fallout in some very kind of vague way with Ray McCloud. He was been with Ike Hilliard for a long time on different teams and stuff, I guess. So he didn't like it. He kind of made some sort of fuss that ended up with him being
a healthy scratch.
Healthy scratch, thank you, that was the term. And then eventually release. Which, on a team that now is signing people off the scrap heap, of course,
desperate team for receiver,
yes,
for the receiver position, especially with Drake London hurt.
Exactly, that's my point. So then that goes to why the dysfunction of this franchise, and this coaching staff. But Ray McCloud posted something, and you read it, or did you have it pulled up?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so give it to us. This is from social media.
He starts it with, these past months have been one of the toughest battles emotionally and mentally I've dealt with in a long time, from taking the high road and letting stuff slide. But after isolating my mind, body, and spirit, I've learned Understand that during moments of growth, God will test you. And he goes on with a couple more sentences, and I have understand about this, I have understand about this, I have understand about this. And at the end, he says, God always sheds light to the truth because it was never performance-based. Because people had said Ray was cut because he wasn't performing well, but he goes on social media and tells you there's zero truth to the fact that he was not performing. They just benched his ass.
And
I think it was because I think Ike Hilliard got into it with the offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. I think they had a huge disagreement or misunderstanding about something. I think Raheem's guy was Zach. Zach had enough of Ike talking about offensive plays or red zone or third downs or whatever.
Pointing out probably obvious things that we need to do differently.
Ike, you're fired. Get out of here. Okay. We were watching going, what in the hell's going on? Ray, probably very familiar with the situation, what took place. Doesn't like it, speaks his mind to Raheem. Now they got a thing going on. Now he's a healthy scratch for 2 weeks, and then he's cut off the football team where you couldn't afford to cut a guy like Ray with these guys on the roster. So the whole thing was nuts, and it goes back to the culture, leadership, coaching staff. The whole thing was
it's just dysfunctional. I honestly think in a well-run organization, it's a fruit fly that's still in here. Get it.
Damn it. Miyagi-Do karate.
In a well-run organization, that alone, coach is gone. Like that alone, that one thing alone, in my mind. If I'm the head of a team and that's what happens, and I'm now seeing what's played out as it has on the field, gone. So, anyway, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because we've talked about Raheem and we've talked about it all season now. What do you think about Terry Fontenot being gone? So before you respond, I want to give you something, and I got this just to give credit where credit's due. I mean, these are true things, but Sports Talk ATL, who is a great follow on Instagram, pointed this out. For Terry Fontenot, 5 losing seasons under the 5 years he's been here. We are 4-9 right now with no first round draft pick, and in the Kyle Pitts pick, he picked Kyle Pitts over Micah Parsons, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain, and Jamar Chase. And then, of course, what can we forget except for the Kirk Cousins deal? And then 3 weeks later, drafting Michael Penix. And as he pointed out again, neither of which look like long-term answers at all.
Right. So every GM's going to have hits and misses. How big are your hits and how big are your misses, right? Those are some big misses you're talking about. Yes. There's been some hits recently with Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. That gave up your first-round pick, but you got two good-looking first-rounders. Sure. Xavier Watts has been a nice piece. Unfortunately, Billy Bowman hurt his Achilles and walked through, which is insane as well. Yeah. But you've hit some guys lately that look pretty good. Bijan. But
that's an obvious, right? Because other GMs would tell you, yeah, but you don't draft a running back in the first round, let alone that high in the first round. Yeah, right.
But so, of course, but if he looks like Bijan,
I understand. But
all right, so to Terry, stick around. So my understanding, and we heard this from Thomas Dimitroff, who also had some big hits and some big misses in free agency and drafting. You get, as a GM, relatively speaking, you get two head coaching hire kind of, what do you call it, cycles. And the first time when he got here, Arthur Smith was hired as the coach by the people that were here before Terry Fontenot, I believe. Right. So you hire a head coach in Arthur Smith, then you hire Terry Fontenot to work with Arthur Smith. That didn't go very well. And then Terry Fontenot hires his first coach, which is Raheem Morris, who's been here for 2 years. Unless it's like
so let's count that as another miss, though, right? As bad judgment, because it was a panned hire across the NFL and across the sports talk world. Yeah. Obviously, there was some optimism here for some fair reasons, and it hasn't worked out. So I think, in my mind, that's not just another. It's just a thing. That's a miss. That's a huge miss that set us back another 2 years.
Also, you got to remember, we were in cap hell when he took over.
Yeah, which is
and
fair.
I've heard people disagree with this, and I still stand by it. He got rid of Matt Ryan and Julio Jones at the right time, in my opinion. They didn't do anything after they left.
Listen,
I know
I'm not going to have you. Julio,
I'm not. They were just at the end of their careers. I'm
not going to argue that.
I think it was the smart move to move on from them at that point.
That's fair.
They should have had a better succession plan, which they did not.
The way it happened was not how it's supposed to happen.
It was totally disrespectful to those two and everything they did for this franchise. But like you said, everyone has an expiration date.
Yes.
And I think those two were getting towards that. Definitely Julio Jones. Matt Ryan, I could argue one way or the other.
But I agree with you.
You got to make that's a hard part of that job,
dude.
And also with Terry, to give him credit, your own judge is, what have you done for me lately? I mean, he nailed this draft class.
No, he did. You're right. You're absolutely right. So I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here because I'm neutral either way. To be honest with you, the logic makes sense both ways to me, and I'm the layman, right? So I don't know. You both have more NFL experience than I do, and I'm the fan. So I get very much the situation we're in and some major misses, and I still can't believe the Kyle Pitts pick, but and the Michael Penix pick.
By the way, that pick didn't look bad after his rookie year.
It didn't, but how's it turned out?
Yeah, I know. Originally, he set all the tight end records as a rookie, and it looked great, and we didn't look stupid. And
what has Micah Parsons, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain, and Jamar Chase done?
Oh, of course.
Stalwarts.
I mean, hindsight.
Exactly. Made a case for
really good players.
Is there Akron? Where's the Hall of Fame?
Canton, Ohio.
Canton, thank you, Jesus.
Main streets of Akron.
The main streets of Akron. All right, so here's the next. Maybe we can finish on this because this is some more conjecture, fun stuff. QB situation for next season. Yeah, I know.
Dude, so we are in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
The guy you expected to be here is coming off an ACL injury.
Yeah.
So he'll be first one on this knee. So he'll be 9 or 10 months out of surgery by the time the season starts.
So probably not ready.
You got to cut Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
And give you a little bit of salary cap relief for this year and next, I guess. So you got to go find some free agent
journeyman
stopgap for. It's crazy. It's the craziest. This could be really bad.
Yeah, it really could
for next year.
So Daniel Jones is a free agent. Again, giving credit.
Daniel Jones just
He just tore his
blew his Achilles out last
he's
week.
probably not
We talked
gonna-
about
I
him
know.
last week
Yeah,
as
I know.
maybe being the guy.
That sucks for him.
I feel
So-
bad for him, dude.
Which is why we're seeing Philip Rivers. So hey, to that note, maybe Matt Ryan comes out of retirement.
Yeah, or Brian Finneran.
Yeah, right. One of us. We're both. Me and Philip Rivers, both grandparents, both in our 40s.
You could, well, Philip Rivers has like 100 kids already. So
10 kids.
Did you see my stat I found on Rivers?
No, what was
There's Dylan Sampson, the running back for what team is he on? The Cleveland Browns.
it? Yeah.
He was
Oh, I did
born
see this.
3 months after Philip Rivers was drafted. So
That's
he was,
crazy.
yeah, his
That's
mom
funny.
was pregnant with him when Philip Rivers got drafted.
right, so,
in 2004.
what do you
Amazing.
think, River?
About
The quarterback situation for next year. What is
I
your,
mean,
what's your-
we've invested in a first-round pick quarterback who's not going to be ready at the start of the year. So you're not going to go crazy and spin big. So you're going to have to sign some kind of Jake Brissett kind of play. Jacoby. Sorry,
there you go.
Jake.
It's all right.
Call him
Sorry.
Jake Brisket. That's a nickname for him. Yeah, but Jacoby Brissett or someone like that knows how to run an offense, knows what his job is. He's only going to be there for a couple weeks.
or get a 4th round quarterback.
Yeah, but you're not going to want to start a
Can't-
4th-round quarterback week
I don't want
one.
to do any of the things we're having to do.
We only had 5 draft picks. How are you going to waste one on a 4th-round quarterback?
Just saying,
for?
what is an option? I mean, the
How dare you?
What's Tyler Shuck in New Orleans? Wasn't he 3rd or 4th round?
His 2nd-round pick.
Okay, we'll see. It's quarterback. Might as well be 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
They
So,
also
like,
didn't have an injured first-round pick quarterback. Yeah, we're just in a bad,
just
bad
spent
spot.
$1 billion on to have the best backup quarterback in the league, as they put it. So why not spend a 2nd round on to have a reliable backup for Michael Penix? Because he's what if he gets injured again? What if he goes and blows out another ACL again for the 4th time next year? You know,
We'll call up Kyle Trask.
yeah. See, there you go. All right. So Falcons play tonight in Tampa Bay, 8 o'clock or 8:15, whatever it is.
8:15 on Prime.
On prime time on Thursday Night Football. I mean, Mike Evans might play, he might not. We don't have. I really don't have much desire to go deep into this. Is there anything specifically you want to talk about? Either of you guys?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's some fun matchups if Mike Evans comes back from the broken collarbone, him and AJ Terrell
Terrell, yeah.
matching up again. They're kind of reeling. They just lost to the Saints 24-20. We're not in a good place. They are fighting for a playoff spot with the Carolina Panthers. So let's just be game wreckers and ruin their season and send them home. I'm tired of watching them win the division. So
Me too.
I don't.
That hands it to Carolina though if they do. So, all right, Groover, you got any last notes? Anything?
I mean, I enjoyed watching Baker Mayfield play. He
too.
he grew on me over the years. I did not like him coming out of
Yeah, he was
college.
a cocky little
but
shit.
When he went to the Rams and signed with them like a day before their game, and he went out there and won. That's
amazing.
That and Jeff Saturday winning his first game ever. Those are two of the craziest fucking things I've seen in the
You
NFL.
can say that on
Yeah.
What's the Jeff Saturday thing?
When Jim Irsay hired him as an analyst to be the head coach,
Oh my
every
God.
person in the media was like, "This is the
No
dumbest
way,
thing ever."
so
It turned
dumb.
out to be the dumbest thing
It
ever.
did.
But he won the first game,
That's crazy.
and I thought that was pretty funny.
It was.
So I'm with you on that Baker Mayfield thing. I like watching him play just because he's so fun and good.
Yeah.
But when he was it was Oklahoma, right? Against Georgia in the Rose Bowl, when he ran down the sidelines doing this, I'm like, you.
Like he seems like he's a really good teammate, like someone I'd like to play with.
And then he's
Exactly.
funny on those commercials too.
He is,
so he
yeah.
lives at the stadium. Yeah. So
A great
anyway, I'm
personality.
doing that. Let's wreck the game, and I just
There you go. Make it happen.
I got nothing else.
No,
just
you
don't
shouldn't.
look like assholes tonight. You know what?
There
if
you
we
go.
lose,
I like
okay,
it.
just don't look like assholes.
How about
Don't do it
that?
some asshole way. All right.
Thank you.
That's the best.
That's right.
What else can you do with those Falcons fan right now?
You're exactly right.
I mean-
don't fumble. Don't throw interceptions. Don't give up big kick returns or punt returns, and don't let Bucky Irvin or whoever go
Bucky
icky
Irvin,
baluki on you.
Yeah. Just play
Don't
well.
look
play,
like a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah, play
you.
well, and if you lose, it's fine. But that's where we are.
All right.
All right. Until next week, Falcons fans, go Falcons.
Rise up.
Positive vibes only.